Join us in this insightful episode where we dive deep into the business of driving schools to positive territories. We'll also explore the vital role driving schools play in shaping competent drivers and enhancing road safety. Behind the wheels is Miss Connie Bugtong, owner of iRise Driving School.
It all boils down to defensive driving kasi on the road, you can really encounter a lot of people. So, kailangan hindi mainitin yung ulo natin because we have a family waiting for us to be home safely.
We are now open for business.
It is a signal to the world. We are open for business.
With driving lessons becoming a mandatory requirement by the Land Transportation Office in 2020, the demand for driving schools was high. One business that flourished because of this requirement is iRise Driving Schools, headquartered in Quezon City and providing both practical and theoretical driver's education for motorcycle and other vehicles. With us is Miss Connie Bugtong, owner of iRise, to share with us insights into running a driving school business to positive territories. Welcome to Open for Business, Miss Connie. How are you?
I'm good po. Thank you.
Alam mo, Miss Connie, this one is very exciting topic kasi di ba lagi natin napapalitaan at nagva-viral pa yung videos ng mga road rage. I was reading the introduction earlier and I mentioned that there is really a vital role of driving schools because of course you produce the graduates there, you provide certificates for people who drive. It's already mandated by LTO that driving schools must be LTO registered.
That's correct.
Pero pag-usapan po muna natin yung mga road rage na yan. May kaugnayan din ba ang mga produkto ng driving schools para maiwasan ang road rage?
Yes po, actually, it's one of our lessons, no? Paano natin iwasan yung road rage? So, it all boils down to defensive driving. Kasi on the road, you can really encounter a lot of people like this. So, kailangan hindi mainitin yung ulo natin. So, that's our nature tao po tayo. It is also important that we incorporate it in our topics during the seminar. We really tell them, we really educate them na huwag tayo na maging ganon because we have a family at home waiting for us to be home safely.
We've seen a lot of viral videos and a lot of statistics and it is increasing. So later on, we'll check. Like say when you do some seminars, what are the tips? What do you normally tell them? Kasi there are times it could be mental, emotional, diba? Psychological. But before we go into that, iRise Driving School was born out of a previous driving school that existed for 8 years. With Open for Business kasi this is also one opportunity for us to look at the background of the business owners. In your case, what is also striking is you decided to take over or to go into this business when your background is in Canadian immigration assistance and customer service. What made you decide to somehow shift into a different career?
It was a very difficult decision kasi I had been in Canada like every year during that time of my career. There was this plan or I planned to settle in Canada, start my family in Canada. So, yun yung papunta yung dream ko. That eventually, in my productive years, I will be there and I will be coming home upon retirement kasi of course, I still love my country. But there was this opportunity, they sent me messages if you're interested with this and that kasi si boss matanda na and he wanted to rest. So sabi ko, given those circumstances, I had to check on my budget. Kaya ko ba? Yun yung struggle actually and kaya ko bang panindigan? Of course, I will be working with people and these people have their families as well. So sabi ko, sir, give me 5 days. So after that 5 days, biglang nagkaroon ako ng financial blessing. So sabi ko, okay. And I said, okay sir, get ko na. Kukunin ko na. It means if I was able to be given that blessing, it means that I will be guided all throughout. If I have it already. So dun yung pinanghawakan ko.
So you worked in Canada for how many years, and what was the nature of job there?
It was since 2015. It was actually a government organization. So we are composed of, we have Filipinos and other nationalities as well. So it is based on Canadian soil. So we welcome immigrants. We do orientations, no? And that time, the government of Canada said, oh, maraming migrants from the Philippines. So why don't we have an offshore office? And bago pa lang sila mag-land sa Canada, na-orienta sila. Anong dapat nilang asahan pagdating dito? So, doon na po kami pumasok. So, it is an organization funded by the government of Canada. And so, our bosses, our CEO, connected with the Philippine government. So, kami po nagsiseminar. Andun po kami sa PDOS. So, PDOS plus us. And nandun po kami para ma-educate ang ating mga migrants para pagdating nila ng Canada, seamless yung transition.
Mula nung inumpisahan mo na ang iRise, ilan na ang branches at saan ito matatagpuan? Ang bawat branch ba ay nakakapagturo ng lahat ng klaseng sasakyan? Like others are trucks, others would be different vehicles.
I have a total of 3 branches and 3 kiosks. For the reason na hindi ako nag-expand even though pwede at that time, kasi gusto kong i-focus. Gusto kong mag-concentrate on these branches. And then, kasi pwede ko namang lawakan yung reach ko. Yes, the outreach programs, like we go to the community, so we introduce the school, the importance of having these lessons. Pwede ko naman pong gawin. So, I didn't open a lot of branches. So, para mayakap ko siya. So, yes, these 3 branches, we offer complete po siya, except for the trucks. So, I do seminars, yung theoretical driving course, practical driving courses for motorcycle and car, except for trucks and pataas. Yes, because I don't have enough space for that. Kasi kailangan natin ample yung space natin, and I want to make sure naman na kahit gustuhin ko man, gustong-gusto ko na equip yung field ko para talagang matututo sila. So, since ito pa lang yung nabigay sa akin, hindi ko hinangad yung truck. Dito muna ako para mag-focus kami, concentrate kami dito.
That's a good insight, Miss Connie, because some of the businesses, some CEOs, once opportunity comes to them, they would think immediately of expansion. But in your case, one of the insights that you're sharing now is to create that focus, to probably make sure that you establish your core competence first, and somehow, because I feel that you are hands-on, so you wanted to really create that impact first. I sense that you study first that market before expanding. What's the principle behind it?
Yes, because I was taught that if you're going to do something, you have to put your 100%, your heart, your everything. So gusto ko po, before kami mag-expand, we're doing really well. And na-explore namin, na-reach out namin yung tao doon sa aming centers. Yes. And I believe kasi na kapag meron nakalaan, you can have it easily. Madali na lang yon. Parang iaabot lang sa'yo. Ganon. So, there are a lot of opportunities, or a lot of actually malls na nagsusulat sa amin na we want to welcome you here.
I see in our research that there are some top LTO accredited driving schools in Metro Manila, and we see that they also have training programs and experienced instructors. How is competition, Miss Connie? I know that siyempre dumadami ang sasakyan sa Pilipinas, dito lang sa Metro Manila, kaya hindi na matapos-tapos ang traffic, di ba? But I think there's a lot of initiatives also of government to create these new urban centers, so to decongest Metro Manila. But in your case, we see your sector is also well established. So how do you compete in the market?
In terms of employees, instructors?
Yes.
Like that.
And maybe the business as a whole.
We really have to put our best. I'm not looking at the other schools, how they operate, how do they do things. What I do is I would focus on this project. I would focus on this advocacy. Kasi hindi lang, my inspiration is not just the money. Of course, when you do business, you expect
Yes.
na I will have profit. But profit is not everything. So when you have the money, are you happy? Is there fulfillment at the end of the day? So our fulfillment is, kung may babalik sa amin, may lisensya na ako, thank you. It's very encouraging. So I would share it to my employees, no? And, tingnan nyo, may nag-message. Tingnan nyo, may bumalik sa atin. They're very happy too. I'm really happy that my employees, from the very beginning, they're still with me until now. Since 2018.
2018. That's how many years already?
Almost 6.
Okay.
Mag-6.
That's right.
So, it means we
So
have...
nadaanan nyo rin,
Yeah.
pati pandemic.
Yes po. Doon ko makikita po, i-share ko yung pandemic. We were able to share kasi that time, hindi kami masyadong nahirapan.
Because
It became mandatory. So, the people are seeking us. We don't seek for our clients, pero sila yung naghahanap sa amin. So, yun ko pinatunayan lalo na we are installed somewhere for a reason. You're installed in that place for a reason. Kasi at that time, we were able to reach out a lot of people who don't have jobs. And then we were able to give them food. Even my employees are very happy na magbibigay. Kasi they have jobs.
what exactly is your advocacy?
Yung advocacy kasi I was in customer service for many years. So I find happiness every time I am able to share. So I share it with my family, my relatives, my friends, and to people who are in need.
Wow, very inspiring, Miss Connie. Your background is immigration assistance?
Yes po.
Customer service. Sa dinami-dami naman. And I see you're very charming. Your openness and your advocacy is beaming. Pag sinabi mong driving school, medyo parang it's a man's world. Di ba?
I get that a lot.
And here you are managing branches of driving schools. So why did you choose this type of business considering your background?
I get it a lot. Bakit driving school? Pwede ng parlor, pwede namang beauty shop, pwede namang aesthetic. Honestly, hindi ko rin plano. And I really love driving. I love traveling.
So, siyempre, dahil babae ka, it's a man's world. What are these challenges that you were able to hurdle? Kumbaga, on a day-to-day scenario.
Day-to-day challenges, ang dami. You know, kapag marami kasing cars like we have more than 20. So parang on a day-to-day basis, meron ka dyan. Medyo difficult si student. May emergency yung isang instructor. So believe it or not, I did my lecture. Nagle-lecture ako. And I also teach driving. Kasi kapag
Okay.
kailangan talaga, I have to be there. And that's very challenging kasi minsan, titignan ka, kaya ba talaga akong turuan nito? So, I have to show that I can. No? That I am also an educator. And that doesn't make a difference. Lalaki man yung instructor or babae, we do the same job. When it comes to teaching driving.
So I notice you're very hands-on as well.
Yes po.
Is that a management strategy that you practice talaga?
Yeah, I am very hands-on. I have to educate or I have to refresh my employees every now and then. You know, there will be may mga bagong curriculum. So we have to do, but the agency, when I say agency, the Land Transportation Office, are also very hands-on with this. They also give retooling programs or lectures para sa amin. And they do renew our accreditations to make sure that we're always in line with the stipulations in our MOA or in our contract. Being an accredited driving school, we also do in-house na mga lectures. So, I really micromanage kasi ayokong magkaroon ng reason bakit hindi magtiwala yung mga tao sa amin. Yun nga po, buhay ng tao ang nakasalalay po dito. So, we want to make sure every aspect of the business, the registration, the offices, the instructors, the lecturers, we have to be in sync.
I think you responded some of these. With the rise of driving schools because of demand, how do you retain personnel like driving instructors? And how do you make sure that their skills are updated? You responded to
Yes,
that
ma'am.
already. But Yun, paano yun? Kumbaga parang siyempre maraming retention din ng empleyado. So I'm sure HR is one of the tasks that you handle when you micromanage. Maraming nagpapalit o kaya nagkasakit or medyo problematic na instructors or educators. So in terms of retention of employees, what's your program for that?
I do believe kasi there will be time talaga kailangan nila akong iwanan because they have to grow. We have our personal dreams. They want to create a family or they have kids they have to focus on, or they want to start a business, or they want to move to another job. So I always tell them na okay lang. Kaso lang, kung may problem kayo at pupunta kayo sa ibang driving school, you might be encountering the same problem. So, wala pa akong so far na nag-move sa ibang driving school. Meron po ako nag-move lang because they went to the government, they were hired. Meron akong, pero it's just few. Parang siguro 3, 4 lang po. So, I maintain by having them as a family as well. So, kung may problem, they know this. Example, health issues. So, I do, ang problema mo? I will send you to the clinic, my friend's clinic, and then pag-usapan natin, ako nang bahala. We have to make sure that you're okay before you go back to work. And I'm not sure if the other companies are doing this as well. I just want that personal touch. Kasi I have experienced a lot of goodness in my previous job. So nakita ko effective kasi natulungan ako na mag-dream, natulungan ako na mas maging, I'm not perfect, I'm so far from being a perfect employer, pero may mga points na nakuha ako sa previous job ko na I can share, and I'm hopeful that if they will be having their own time, gagawin din po nila yun.
What's the ideal attitude of a driving instructor?
Disiplinado. When we say disiplinado, kasi it covers everything. Yeah, you're disciplined.
So they follow rules, ganyan. They read.
Yes, and they're obedient also if they're disciplined. And they understand their assignment. Yes po.
So that's the key. You mentioned earlier, you don't necessarily focus on competitors and that you focus on your project. What is your competitive advantage over the other driving schools?
A lot of people are coming back to us giving their testimonials. And so we post them. A lot of them post their reviews as well. So I think it's very helpful talaga. Like, we don't speak for ourselves, but our clients will speak.
Normally,
about
when they give that
experiences.
feedback, anong sinasabi nila?
Maganda dito. Nakakuha na ako ng license ko. It's very helpful. It's very informative. And lahat ng natutunan ko na i-apply ko, meron pa magaganda. I'm in Japan now, I'm in Canada now, and I'm driving. And doon ako nag-umpisa sa iRise. It's very nakakataba ng puso. It's very overwhelming.
Having been exposed to the different driving environments, di ba? Sa Pilipinas at syempre sa Canada. Off-cam nga kanina, I mentioned also my wife learned her driving styles and techniques in Hong Kong. Ano yung pagkakaiba? Halimbawa, sa Canada at saka dito, sa bagay siguro baka dahil maluluwag yung roads nila, infrastructure is maybe different. So, but in terms of driving skills, in terms of maybe traffic, whatever that affects our countries, what's the differences and similarities of driving in Canada and here in the Philippines?
This is funny kasi marami tayong mga drivers dito na matagal nang nagda-drive. As per my experience and mga testimonials ng mga kababayan nating migrants sa Canada. For the people who've been driving here for many, many years, like 15 years, 25 years, nababagsak sila sa Ministry of Transportation. Sa practical driving test.
Yung Pinoy dito, matagal na, pagdating sa Canada, nababagsak.
Talo pa ng bago, nag-aral doon kasi fresh. This is what I realized. Kasi discussion din po namin sa orientation. Sa haba-haba ng pagdadrive natin dito, we have acquired a lot of habits, bad habits on the road, hindi na natin maya-unlearn. So we cannot unlearn those. It's not we cannot, but it's very difficult for us to unlearn those. Kasi fresh ka, natuto ka doon, ang dali mong pumasa.
Mm-mm.
So what is lacking? Siguro, when I say, kasi magaganda naman yung mga kalsada doon, we can double park. Nakikita naman natin. Well, there are some traffic, meron ding maluluwag. Kasi ang accidents po doon, kapag mabibilis, yung collision talaga is very
High
strong.
impact talaga,
High impact talaga. So, that's one na disadvantage. Samantalang po dito, pag traffic po, bumper to bumper lang tayo yung accidents.
Lang.
Yes. So, I think it's more of the discipline talaga na dito, pwede mong gawin yung medyo magaan. Yung feeling mo, yung punishment or yung penalty is, kaya ko yun, reckless driving, 2,000 pesos.
Reckless driving ba ang cheapest punishment?
Dito po? Hindi po. Maybe, hindi mo pagdala ng driver's license mo.
Which is how much?
I think it's 300 pesos.
Okay. Gaano ba kadisiplinado ang Pilipino compared sa halimbawa Canadian? I'm asking about Canada because you've worked there for many years.
Yung mga Filipinos in Canada, I can only speak sa mga nakasalomuha ko.
Yes.
They tend to obey the rules. Maybe because we're in a different country.
Yeah.
We have our bread and butter here, so we have to do good, or else kapag maipunan ako, I might be deported, something like that. Pwedeng ganun po. We have this fear or respect.
To behave in a different country.
Yes, to behave in a different country.
But once you're back in your country, ayan na, pasaway na.
Hindi ko man naman masabi po na siguro hindi sila takot dito, hindi tayo disiplinado, pero andun po yun eh. Andun po yun. Kayang-kaya pala.
Wow, okay.
Kaya. Kung gusto.
Wow. Well, that's very insightful. Now, based on our research, the LTO has recommended cap on pricing for the courses. What are your pricing schemes for beginners, advanced, and refresher courses for manual and automatic transmissions?
There is a price cap, no? Kasi the agency, Land Transportation Office, had to protect the general public. Kasi syempre minsan siguro may wanna go overpriced. I cannot say. Don't have personal experience with that. We also tend to play with the market, and since kasi yung mga target market namin is the general public. So nag-a-adjust kami sa prices namin. We have our promos every now and then. So for the 15-hour theoretical driving course, we have an ongoing promo. This is 15 hours. That's just 599 pesos.
Wow.
Kahit 1,000 pesos yung price cap. It's because you have to adjust then sa mga tao.
See, that's 599 pesos for 15 hours.
Yes po, seminar.
Yet the price cap is 1,000 pesos. So malaking bagay yun.
Almost half.
Okay. So that is a way for you to somehow, it's a service to our countrymen. Okay. Ilang porsyento sa mga estudyante nyo ang pumapasa at nakakakuha ng lisensya? So ito ba ay, parang may mga repeaters din ba na siguro mga talagang pasaway yung estudyante sa driving? Parang I'm sure you also follow the trend or the enrollees versus the passers.
Opo. I still wanna go back dun sa paano kapag sobrang hirap. The question earlier, kapag talagang walang-wala. Kasi we have this scholarship program. The agency also required the driving schools to do scholarship program. But even before it has been required, nagbibigay kami ng scholarships talaga. There is a story behind that. Doon nag-umpisa, meron kaming mag-ama.
Okay.
Dumating. May iyak ako. Kasi dilabas na yung wallet niya. Kulang laman. So, meron kaming short interview. Ano pong trabaho, sir? Nagbabasura kasi ako. And I want my kid. Gusto ko yung anak ko. Maiba yung takbo. So, nag-enroll silang dalawa. So, sabi ko, ilibre nyo na yan. Hindi pwedeng ganyan.
Wow.
So, doon kami nag-start na magbibigay ng scholarship. Kasi, yung pala nakakatulong para mabago yung buhay ng isang tao. Just by educating them, sa'yo, kikitain mo pa yun eh. Because you have the opportunity. But not all good opportunities are for everyone. Meron silang windows, but kailangan pasukan ng medyo able.
Yeah.
So at that time, we have that opportunity. We have to come in. So, sana nakanood kayo ngayon. Kumusta po kayo? Sana okay na kayo.
And then from that point, you continue that scholarship program
Yes
already.
po. Until now.
So they have to enter a certain process, di ba,
Yes
for
po.
them to avail of that scholarship program. Ano ba yun? You will do the interview,
Yes
and
po.
what else
Merong
maybe?
interview, and we asked for indigent certificate from the barangay, and then we call kasi maraming
To
pwedeng
verify.
we call to verify kasi we don't want to be take advantage because of that
Yes.
program kasi marami namang able tapos gusto lang ng medyo mas magaan.
Yes.
They might take advantage of the program. So we want na yung mari-reach out namin is talagang deserving.
Yes.
Opo. So we do the interviews and we ask for documents from the barangay na they know this person na hindi po talaga able, hindi talaga kaya. So that's when we step in.
Wow, that's amazing. Sa inyong pagkakaalam, ano ang pinakamadalas na problema sa pagmamaneho na nararanasan at paano naman ito may iwasan? I'm sure this is being discussed in
Yes.
your training programs, but maybe you can just share, some pinakamadalas na problema sa pagmamaneho na nararanasan. Siguro dito, may isipin ko sana yung mag-overtake. Kaso parang paano pag traffic ka maka-overtake? Pero hindi rin, di ba? Minsan kahit sa siksikan, di ba? So what are the most common problems or violations?
You've mentioned road rage. Car accidents, magit-gitan. Those are the main problems. Yung lagi tayong nagmamadali, yung overtake. So since nagmamadali tayo, it's either umiinit na yung ulo natin pag traffic, andun na lahat. Mainit ang ulo mo, mainit ang panahon or malakas ang ulan. Yung mga kasama mo, nagmamadali din. So, ang ending is nagkaroon ng aksidente, nagkaroon ng road rage. So, gabit-gabit siya or they are connected. So, nagiging malaking problem siya. So, yun po yung nakikita natin, especially for motorcycles. Kasi the statistics shows from the file of MMDA, since 2022 to 2023, 17% yung pagtaas ng motorcycle accidents.
17%.
17% ng pagtaas.
taas.
So, it's really high. It's really high. Kaya sa aming mga lectures, sa aming mga lessons, we really have to inculcate na may pamilya tayong uuwian. Yung init ng ulo, pwede nating ipagsantabi. Kasi lahat tayo may kakayahang mainit ang ulo. We are humans. And yung nature natin, madaling magalit. So, yun yung lagi namin sinasabi. Walang mananalo sa road rage. Yung isa masasaktan, yung isa mananakit. One goes to jail, one goes to the hospital. Or worse, even worse can happen.
Sa dinami-dami ng sasakyan at nagmamaneho sa siksikang kalsada sa Pilipinas, you mentioned this in your introduction. Bakit defensive driving ang importante?
Yes, defensive driving is very important kasi you can save lives, you can save time, you can save money. Kapag ikaw ay defensive driver, makakarating ka sa pupuntahan mo ng ligtas. Wala kang nakasakitan, wala kang nasaktan. Your family is happy that you came home. Walang gastos. Safe pa yung sasakyan natin kasi walang gastos. Yes, defensive driving talaga yung number one na tinuturo natin sa school.
Pero Miss Connie, sa mga ibang hindi nakakaalam, kasi this is 9 p.m., so maraming tayong mamasa na nakikinig. Kumbaga, sa bagay, pag sinabi mong basketball, pag defensive playing or game yan, alam nila. Pero pagdating sa driving, what are the strategies pag sinabing dapat defensive driver ka? What exactly is defensive driving?
Defensive driving, example, you don't feel well. So it means you're not fit to drive. Anong pwede natin gawin? Magpa-drive tayo, mag-taxi tayo. So what happens kapag ikaw po may sakit, uminom ka ng gamot, inaantok ka, nakatulog ka sa daan, nagkaroon ng aksidente. So, yun, sasabi namin, if you really don't feel well, magpa-drive tayo, mag-commute tayo, or just stay at home. Pangalawa, weather. Masyadong mainit. Alam mo nang mainit, hindi ka nagdala ng tubig. Mainit na rin yung ulo mo. Yan. Ano ba yung dapat tamang attitude na baon natin? So we have to have those right attitude in every situation. Nag-away kayo ni Misa sa bahay, nagsigawan kayo, galit na galit ka, lumabas kayo. Hanggang sa kalsada, mainit yung ulo mo. Ano ka ba? Maraming ganun. Pero yung totoo, ang init ng ulo mo galing sa bahay. hindi sa kalsada. So if you think that you're that person na nagalit sa bahay, dala-dala mo hanggang sa pagmamaneho, you might as well take a deep breath. Hindi mo na ako aalis. Hindi mo na ako mag-drive kasi maaaring may madamay pa ako. Malakas ang ulan. There's flood. What should we do? Yan tinuturo namin. Or you find an alternate route. Or you might as well not push through. Kasi maaaring ma-stranded ka doon. Magkakaroon pa tayo ng problema. Tatawag pa tayo ng rescue. So, and then they're going to tow your car. It's not safe for you. It's not safe for your car. Mga situations na ganon.
How observant are defensive drivers?
You have to be observant sa galaw din ng mga kasama natin sa kalsada. Example, ang mga kasama natin sa kalsada, mga kapwa motorista, mga enforcers, merong mga pedestrians. Kung alam mong may tatawid, huwag mo nang ipilit. They have the right of way. The pedestrians have the right of way. And also, may mga enforcers. So you have to be observant. Okay, may enforcer dito, pinara ako. Ano ba yung defense natin? Nagagalit tayo agad eh. Pinara ka lang naman pala, sir, okay ka lang? Hindi ka hinuhuli. So, anong galaw ng katabi mong driver? Masyado ba siyang agresibo? Dinidikitan ka ba? Ay, dinidikitan ako, didikitan nga rin kita. Ganun po ba? So we teach them na huwag kang ma-intimidate. No? Kasi pinangungunahan natin eh. So we have to have the right actions. Okay, may tatawid, I have to stop. Okay, may enforcer, I have to respect. Okay, may mga kapwa ako motorista, siguro emergency, kaya nagmamadali, okay, go. Ganun po.
This one, related to what you have been telling us earlier, how do you adapt your curriculum to challenges on the road? Like distracted traffic, new traffic laws, at may mga bago bang examples ng mga patakaran na you are now also relaying to your students?
Yeah, that's very good. Kasi ako, nung nagle-lecture po ako since 2018, akala ko magaling na ako. Feeling ko, alam ko na. But every time I have this retooling class with the agency, with the Land Transportation Office, na-amaze ako, ganun pala yun.
So when you say retooling, Miss Connie, ito yung parang refresher course.
Yes po.
Parang ito yung sinasabi mo na you have to unlearn what you already know for 15 years or
Yes po.
more. Yun. Kasi baka mamaya nagbago na rin yung symbol. may ganun ba? Kumbaga parang dati, yan ba ay katulad din ng internet na may mga bagong symbols ba yan? Mga ganyan? O halos wala naman masyado pagbabago?
It's not with the symbols naman. Pero may mga bago kasing example. Kasi meron tayong mga roadworks. No?
Okay.
Meron nakalagay, U-turn, no U-turn, stop. Anong susundin ko dito? I'm sure many of our audiences encountered that. I'm not going to name areas or places, pero we encountered that. Stop here, no stopping, or loading, no loading. Ano bang susundin ko? Confused yung mga ating motorista. So, yun, that's also one of the questions we've raised before. Ini-educate din kami na, ano ba, sino bang susundin namin? Sabi kasi nung traffic light, go, pero sabi nung traffic enforcer, stop. Okay, you have to obey the enforcer kasi yung enforcer yung nandun.
Okay.
So, some sort of that. And
So, that's one tip. Basta andun si enforcer,
Yes po.
si enforcer ang masusunod.
yes po.
Not the traffic
Not
light.
the traffic light.
Okay.
Yes.
So, kanyari, pag dumiretso ka ulit, hinuli ka, pero kasi parang hindi mo sasabihin na, hindi kasi go. Pero kasi sinasabi ni enforcer, stop. Ang masusunod doon, si enforcer.
Because
Bakit
you have to
po?
be-
Because,
You have to be a defensive rider. You have to be observant. You're in the Philippines. A lot of things are going on in the road.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to widen your horizon on the road.
you already mentioned some defensive driving techniques. Are there other things that people should realize or should remember to avoid accidents? Minsan, ito, nasasabi lang sa atin, di ba, pag mga long holidays, di ba, meron pa nga yung blow baguettes,
Blow
di ba,
baguettes.
mga ganyan. So yun ba, itinuturo nyo rin? And is that the standard already?
That is one example that I want to say. Dating alam natin blow baguettes. It's now Dr. Blow Bagsy kasi they've included
Dr. Blow
Bagsy.
Bagsy. O ano naman yung Dr. Blow Bagsy? Bago to ha. Okay, let's
Yes.
start with D.
Yes, you have to have your, of course, documents. What are the documents needed? Your ORCR.
Yes.
Okay. And also, your license. Yes. And ang nadagdag lang naman doon is yung Y.
Okay.
Yourself. Because am
paano
I
yun?
ready?
What's the explanation there?
Am I ready? May sakit ba ako?
Oh.
May sama ng loob ba ako na hindi naramdam? Nagluluksa ba ako? I mean, it's true, no?
Yes.
Kapag tayo'y nawalan ng
Oo.
mahal sa buhay, we cannot perform well, even in driving.
I
So,
see.
yes po, yung nadagdag is just the documents and
Documents and the Y. Which is both very important.
very important.
Kasi kapag wala yung document mo, kahit nakasalanan minsan ng nakabangga sa'yo, may kasalanan ka rin.
may kasalanan ka, meron kang penalty.
May penalty ka
Yes,
din. I
opo.
see. And yung why, that's also very important because yung sinasabi mo nga, a lot of the problems came from somewhere else. Diba? It could be work, it could be at home, and not necessarily there at the road. Okay? And not necessarily the car itself, but it's the readiness of that person
Of that
driving.
person. Yes
Okay.
po.
In advanced countries, driverless cars are already operating. This has something to do with the technology. When the time comes that this reaches our market, what preparations do you have for this business? Maybe let's talk about innovation. Even cars, the automobile industry is innovating very fast. They embrace innovation at a very, very high speed. So, in your case, how do you integrate innovation in your business?
Oh, that's nice. Kasi yung change is inevitable. There is the product of technology, developments merged day by day. We cannot avoid that. And of course, we welcome that because it makes our lives easier.
Yes.
But we've been flexible over the past years. And I'm sure we are going to be flexible to adopt with that. If the Philippines is ready for EV, for electronic vehicles, and so are we are going to equip our motorists. We will be one of them. Kung sinong mag-i-equip, of course, we have to step up and equip our fellow motorists with this new innovation as well. We have to find that. And of course, siguro mga half of our population or even 1/4 of our population will still stay with the traditional cars. And we will cater both.
You mentioned about innovation, but are there also trends? Trends in the driver education industry. Meron bang mga bago na kailangan malaman ng ating hindi lang motorista, kundi yung mga kapwa mo na nasa industriya?
Oh yes, there are a lot of, I think kung sasabihin nating bago, parang wala tayo nun dati. I think it's more on the inculcation or kailangan ng force implementation of the rules and
Okay.
regulations.
Yes. Kasi sabi nga nila, andyan lahat ng mga batas natin, pero yung enforcement ang mahina.
Yes po.
Do you often meet with LTO representatives or LGU or ano ba yung dapat na laging nagko-coordinate yung driving school na government agency?
Yeah, it's the Land Transportation Office. When they feel the need, actually. Pero kami din, naghahanap kami ng someone na to help us to cope up with what is new, what do we need to improve on, or parang medyo naging laksa. Okay, I have to, meron kaming seminar meron dapat kaming meeting. So, we do that in our company, no? We do coaching as well. So, we have to coach our instructors, our registration officers, na, ito, kailangan, medyo nagiging lax tayo dito. Okay? So, we also have this constant communication with the communities. Actually, dun sa area namin, there is this TODA na parang inaalagaan namin. Kasi, isa sa mga nagkakaroon tayo ng problems, ng mataas na problema is tricycles, not only motorcycles. So, we also visit them once a month and we're working closely with the agency and as well the community.
Wow, this has been a very inspiring conversation. Pero ito yung kanina ko pang gustong itanong. Halimbawa, kasi yung may mga kasama tayo, mga nanonood, gusto rin magtayo ng driving school. Importante yung driving school kasi halimbawa yung mga customers, mga motorista, ayaw nilang gamitin yung motor nila, tricycle nila, yung sarili nilang sasakyan. If you put up a driving school kailangan sa'yo lahat yung sasakyan? Or what's the business model there? Do you also have this partnership with the automobile companies where they can provide you the vehicles and then you just manage them? Or kailangan ba sa'yo lahat yung mga sasakyan?
Everything has to be under your name. If it is a sole proprietorship, it has to be under your name. If it is SEC-registered corporation, it has to be named after the corporation. Siguro, after their studies, for sure, there are studies na inaral nila, siguro sa safety ng mga estudyante. They want it that way. So, kung pwede lang po, no sir, para mas ano yung gastos.
Yung partnership na gano'n. So
yeah.
maybe eventually, kasi ngayon naman sa mga panahong itong laging pinag-uusapan, collab, di ba?
Yes, collab.
So parang collaboration, ganyan. What's your advice to our viewers naman who may want to consider running a driving school business? What will it take? For them to also enter into this business?
Marami. No. Actually, to this day, may mga nagtatanong sa akin, pwede bang mag-franchise? Pero again...
Is it now franchisable? Or you're working on it
for
pa?
me, no. No, kasi I'm a little bit conservative. Gusto ko kung ano yung pamamaraan ko, ganun din. So, if you really want to put up, you have to set up a purpose. Yes, profit is very important. We have a family to feed, and our employees have their own families to feed. You have to maintain. Yes, profit is very important, but you have to find your purpose. Kasi it's not every day that you get to get money. Paano kung walang pera, di wala ka ng motivation? So you have to find the purpose. Do I really want to do this? Do I really want to contribute para mas dumami ang defensive driver sa kalsada? Am I ready for the responsibilities? Am I ready for the challenges? Kasi baka isang bagyo, nauga na tayo. So, kasi may mga empleyado tayong umaasa sa atin. When you open up a business, you have to have your employees. And you have to be strong kasi they're counting on you. That's very important.
Wow, that's the best way to end this conversation. And before we finish it, Miss Connie, saan nila mahahanap ang iRise Driving School? A lot of viewers are watching Open for Business in case they would want to enroll in the iRise Driving School. Where can they find you?
Yes, our online presence is very good, no? You can message us at iRise Driving School. We actually have 2 Facebook pages, but we prefer you message us at iRise Driving School. We also have office in the 2nd floor CI Plaza building. This is in Zabarte Road, Quirino Highway. That's our main office. Meron din kami sa tabi niyang building sa 1st floor. We have in 8 Holy Spirit, Don Antonio Heights, Quezon City. We also have one in Almar. This is our kiosks, so you can see us there. By the way, we operate from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's 7 days a week. We also have one in our Robinsons branch. Robinsons Metro East, this is in Barangay de la Paz, Marcos Highway, Pasig City. So, sa may tabi lang ng Santa Lucia. 24 hours po ang pagsagot namin sa online, sa mga Facebook namin. So, kahit mga call center agents, mga night shifts po natin, we can cater you as well. And our number, 0997-485-1430. That's our main number. We can answer you from there as well. And our email, irisedrivingschool@gmail.com.
That's Miss Connie Bugtong, the owner of iRise Driving School, with the driving business to positive territories. Open for business. We'll be back. Stay with us. And our buzzword of the week is Driving Enhancement Program is a seminar mandated by the LTO designed for driver's license holders, mandatory for renewal, covering topics on road safety, land transportation laws, rules, and regulations. Whether you're a seasoned driving school owner or thinking of starting one, remember, you're playing a vital role. You're equipping the next generation of drivers with the knowledge and skills to navigate the roads responsibly. It's a challenging but maybe an incredibly rewarding business. As with any company, it's also crucial to stay ahead of trends, especially with a changing landscape in advanced vehicles and other driving factors. Stay clear of blind spots. And with that, our quote of the week is, if you don't drive your business, you will be driven out of business. That's from BC Forbes, Scottish-American author. Thank you very much, Connie. Maraming salamat sa iyo. At maraming salamat sa isang oras na pagsama sa amin upang tunghayan ang isang makabuluhang usapan ukol sa negosyo dito lang sa Open for Business. Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, samahan nyo kaming muli dito sa Open for Business. Catch us too on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe on our social media page at Net25 TV. You will see it on your screens. We will bring you more insights from industry experts, thought leaders, CEOs, and featured SMEs. Together, let us help encourage business development in the Philippines. Sharpen your business acumen. Feel the pulse and set the trend for as long as you're informed and open for business. Ito po si Cesar Vallejos. Marami pong salamat.